So you want a higher rank in the weekly 𝙀𝙀 Phantasm. You want to get these better rewards, these upper echelon of rewards to upgrade your gear as much as possible. A great way to do that is by doing the Sequential Phantasm, because it allows you, even if you haven't pushed that far into the 𝙀𝙀 Phantasm, it still allows you to get a pretty decent ranking on this leaderboard for the week. I'm 20 floors below the guy in third place, but I'm in second place because my Sequential Phantasm rating is higher than his. And so that brings my total score up quite a bit higher than his. So doing your Sequential Phantasm not only gets you a boost into your rank, it also gives you these weekly rewards. And the goal for each week should be, if you're able to get to 2200. Because all the way up to 2200, you get a gold nucleus and you get a proof of purchase. Now the rewards past this are just some weapon augmentation, some crystal dust, and that's about it. And honestly, I've pushed this for the past 45 minutes, and this is the most I've been able to get. I could probably squeeze out an extra 30 points, but I'm happy with where I'm at for the week. So the way that these work, there's 3 different stages that all rotate debuffs weekly. So for this week, the Fighting Spirit stage, which you can only use flame damage in for this specific week, the main objective for the Fighting Spirit is kill opponents, defeat more enemies, get a better score. If you can clear all the waves, then that will give you another multiplier based on how much time is left. So for the Fighting Spirit stage, it's really just it's a DPS check. It's how many mobs you can get through and how fast you can do it. So this one is what took up the majority of the time grinding this today, and I still didn't even break 600 points on it. I don't know why it says minutes there. That must be a translation error or something. But so the Fighting Spirit, it's basically a DPS check, and just follow along with the debuffs for it, and you will be alright. Now, going into Barrage, which is a bit of a different premise, this one, there's a multiplier for how many enemies you can defeat, because that'll give you a higher score, but also avoiding the barrage gives you a multiplier. So how many times you got hit at the end of it gives you a multiplier. Obviously you'd want to get hit less, and that'll give you more points. It gives you a very, very large chunk of your points from just dodging. You can still get a massive amount of points if you don't even kill 3 waves. You can still get a whole lot of points and get a lot of progress towards your weekly. So for this week, it was Physical and Volt Attack are the only attacks that work. So it was honestly pretty easy, because at the start for me, I got Samir as my first SSR. So I've had a Volt weapon option that's been upgraded. So that worked out pretty well for me. But again, Barrage, you can, in the stage, there will be mobs that fire little red orbs. All you have to do is not let them hit you. They move pretty slow, so it's pretty easy to dodge them all. So that is a pretty free way to get a lot of points. Moving on to Survival, which is the 3rd stage. I have seen this at, I believe, last week. It was a different mode, and I forget what it was called, but the premise was you had 4 of these generators you had to keep healed. So you would pick a healing team, you'd have like 2 healers, and then whatever your highest CS weapon was to give your stats and a bonus. But the premise of that was run around and heal for as long as possible. I don't even think there's a multiplier for how many mobs you kill. No, there isn't. So on the survival, or if you get the generator protecting one, it's not based on how many mobs, it's just how long you can survive and how much HP you have left, or how much HP is left on the generators. So for the survival, which was this week's, it was how long you can survive and how much HP do you have left. And also there's some extra ones, like there's death immune enemies, and if you stun them, which you stun them by getting them down to basically 1 HP, and instead of dying, they'll be stunned for 15 seconds. That'll also give you a multiplier. And for this week, it was frost damage only. In this type of in survival at least, your healing is decreased by 90%, so you pretty much have to rely on the healing pack every 30 seconds to keep you above a decent amount of HP to get that HP bonus at the end. And that worked out pretty well for me. So Barrage and Survival are really going to be your big hitter for the points, and you can get pretty close to the 2200 just by honestly running around in Survival and dodging everything, and in Barrage doing pretty much the same thing and just run around, dodge the red orbs, and you'll be good to go. And that way, even if you're not that high in Bygone Phantasm, again, with 2,700 points that I had gotten, I was able to have more points than this person who's leveled 310 in the Bygone Phantasm. So don't underestimate how much this can actually do for you, and go get those rewards, because honestly, half the people in here didn't even do their Sequential Phantasm. So it's practically giving away a top 10 slot if you do the bare minimum. So yeah, that's a quick rundown of what the Sequential Phantasm is in the current state, and I hope you all enjoyed the video, and good luck.